Good evening. Why, yes, on the second day of Halloween, I'm going to subject you guys to my goth remixes that I love so dearly. And yes, I did say the second day of Halloween because August is over, which is my least favorite month. And we're so close to Halloween. I love Halloween. Even though my favorite season is actually spring, but. I hope that you brought your tinfoil hats. Oh, also, I still don't sound that great. I have like some sinus drainage too, so like, I might have to mute to cough up a lung. But I don't have fevers, and my voice is back. It was like so scratchy and almost gone for like a few days there. But we all know every time I get sick, that's what happens. um. So who is first? Hi Tony. Hi Mars. Hi Sludge. Hi Hako Mike. Hi Stealth Tank. Hi Tilted. Who else? Who else? Hi Dingus. And then we have Troll Fan over on Kick. Hi Troll Fan. Guys, I'm still kind of sniffly, excuse me. Hi. I'm sorry that I had to cancel basically all of last week because I was just ran down with a fever. It sucked. Trust me. But I did sleep a lot. And I don't know, I'm doing better. I agree with Dingus. I think Rumble fucked up by making it so that you have to be sub to use emos. Yeah, I hate that. It didn't used to be that way, right? Oh, and Troll Fan, thank you for following me on Kick. Thank you. Yeah, I'm on Rumble, Kick, and YouTube tonight. Coin up, hi. Did I even say hi to Dingus? I know I just quoted Dingus. Dingus, hi. I'm always happy when the ding ding is here. Hi, Dingus. You guys will have to forgive me. I'm still like discombobulated mentally, but you know, what else is fucking new, right? Also, yes, it's nice to see you honorable chatters here. If they did change it, it still says follow to use emotes. That's so strange. Stealth Tank, I'm sorry it's giving you trouble, Stealth Tank. I really am. You know what, for Stealth Tank, I'm going to throw some hugs and then also some paddles and then also some hearts. That's for Stealth Tank. There we go. There you go. You may not be able to use emotes, but I got you covered, okay? Anyway. Oh my god, Mars! 5 gifted subs on Rumble from Mars. Mars, thank you. You are forever kind to me. I don't even deserve it, but you are wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Paddles out for the new subs. If you're subbed, you gotta paddle, so now you can paddle people. Wapow! Thank you, Mars. Oh hey Rooster. Oh, thank you so much, Rooster. We are gonna have a great stream. We're gonna have probably the most provocative stream that I've ever done thus far. And honestly, I saw that Mars and Tilted was posting some stuff in my stream suggestion on Discord, and I want to say that the SSRI situation with a lot of not only trans people, but a lot of people who end up like just like committing mass murders, like even like one of the Columbine guys. I may actually do a Wingin' It tomorrow night instead of Schedule 1 to address that. I feel that it is very important, whether people view us negatively as conspiracy theorists or what have you, that these things be talked about. It does not hurt to be a compassionate human being, even though there are lesser intelligent people on this fucking internet, in this global society, that would have you think that because you are a caring person that is a bad thing. You don't have to listen to them. It's okay to care about others, even when you fucking hate them. Hey Jagos, I am feeling pretty good. I just still have some minor nasally stuff. So bear with me for not sounding the best tonight. So, with all that being said, I am going to be talking about cults that are ran by edgy teenagers that will go post gore and shit like that and try to troll people, which I'm immune to. But I want to put a disclaimer down. Okay? I am armed. I am also very good friends with my local law enforcement, even higher than local. I have liaisons, officers that I am in constant connection with. So trying to fuck with me is just not even really worth the while. My neighbors are all aware that I'm a streamer and that I might err on the side of controversial. They're all aware of it. My neighbors are all armed. I live in a very red area. Mega red. Mega. Maybe even MAGA. There's a lot of MAGA people around me, actually. And so, troubled youth that are nihilistic and feel that they need to accelerate the downfall of society, which is what we're going to get into, I'm just not the one to fuck with. Okay? And also shout out to those liaison officers that I mentioned, because they watch my streams and they're probably going to watch them tomorrow. And I would like them to know that I think that you're wonderful. Thank you for your service and everything that you do. And thank you for, most importantly, helping me. I love them very much. They are lovely, lovely people that support me here locally. Hey, Coast. So with that being said, Villainous Vic. You have a fun name. The trolling overlord approves. Yes, Villainous Vic. Thank you. The last school shooting stream you did was spicier. You did take down the VOD. Wait, what? Hold on. Okay, this is where my executive function and my ADHD kick in, and I can't remember ever doing the stream. Mars, what was the shooter? I feel awful. I have the worst memory. We're gonna chit chat for just a couple of minutes. Also, since I said the disclaimer, that way people are aware. I'm being real with you guys. I've been in contact with my local law enforcement for a long time in the event that any swatting or anything like that happens, and they know to just contact me first. So it's my neighbors as well. We're all defensible here, you know. Hey, Paganini. So one more thing I want to say is that since, and this is off topic, but I want to say this because I did not get to say it last week because I got sick and I wasn't streaming. So since it's going to be after this, or in December by the time I get my new glasses, I would like to put story time where I read books to you guys on hold until then, and I know that's quite a long time away. But in the meantime, I may end up getting bored, or if you guys really want me to, we'll pick a book and read it anyway. It's not like I'm straining to read or anything. It's just I just really like my updated my updated glasses prescription. So I'm just saying. Was the black guy who copied half his manifesto from another schizo manifesto actually Mars? That person that you're talking about, he is connected to the cults, just like the girl, that high school girl that he was best friends with, that we're going to talk about tonight. Okay? Making sure I didn't miss anything. Oh shit, Coast rated. Coast, I didn't even see you rated. I have so much stacked up on my second monitor. I only have 2 monitors. And whenever you're streaming and you're VTubing, it is ideal to have a third smaller monitor just for all of your chats. Coast, thank you for the raid, and welcome in Raiders, and welcome in Coasty. I'm always happy to have Coasty here. He was a black guy. I think you took it down out of fear for the amount of in-laws. Huh. Oh, it's because I was dropping the N-bomb so much because of what we were reading. Whose manifesto was he copying? Was it Chris Dorner's? Oh, it all runs together, guys, and that's sad on my end. But I don't know. You ready to get into it? Usagi Calamari, hello, over on Kick. Hi. Shout out to Usagi. That's another VTuber, guys. Please check Usagi out. Hi, Usagi. I don't sound the best. I'm sick, but I'm so happy you're here. No, you're good, Zay. I understand there's a lot of information to go through. Coast, you're always so understanding, man. You're awesome. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Aw, thank you. I'm starting to feel a lot better, Usagi. He had a lot of N-bombs. You were quoting him. I might make it Rumble only. I don't like to like pull anything down unless I feel like there's like perhaps a chance that YouTube's gonna be like, well, we're gonna get rid of that bitch real quick. I don't want all that, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be a good girl in the eyes of YouTube. So we'll slowly start getting into this as you guys come on in. Hey, Sentinel State. They all copy each other. We're going to get into why they do that, okay? Why do they copy each other, okay? And then again, tomorrow night, because, like, Tilted and Mars is posting interesting stuff in my stream suggestion of Discord, we may also do a second Wingin' It tomorrow night to talk about more that exacerbates this motherfucking problem, such as SSRIs, okay? Hey, Neo. I am back. Feels good to be back. Alright, I'm going to take a sip. Cheers. And then we're going to get started. Okay. So, we were last week I was supposed to talk about whatever his name is, Westman, that very sadly, like, some people lost their lives and others were wounded in a church of their own Catholic school. And people such as that mayor, even Newsom, even Jin motherfucking Psaki came out and wanted to shit on Christians for praying. Just to shit on them. They shouldn't have been in that church praying. They should have been in school learning. It's like, first of all you gotta do is just say you hate God and move on about your day. Alright? You don't... I'm telling you guys, I am not religious at all. I have no qualms with a single person on this earth that is living their life. As long as they're not affecting children, they're not affecting nobody else. Right? And there's not a thing wrong in this world with Christians wanting to pray. Or if that's how they want to conduct their life in their own school, Catholic school. Right? And one of the big reasons Westman probably did this is because he is was part, because he's fucking dead, good for him, of a satanic cult. And we're going to get into it. And we're also going to explore why they're called neo-Nazis when they're not. They're not even a political thing. Trust me on that, okay? Oh, Fontes, G Fontes, $1. Thank you so much for the donation. G says, I got my glasses online at LensRx to replace my original pair of Nautica frames with the same after a decade, as they held up so well and couldn't find anything at all I liked at local stores. I'm going online too. I'm going online too because I looked at two places like that are local, and I really I found like a nice pair that's like $30, and I have like a really strong prescription, and it's probably going to be closer to like $70 by the time I get it all ready. And it's coming from an online place that I can't remember the name of, and they're really, really pretty. You know, I usually wear wire frames. These ones that I'm going to be getting are a plastic frame. With G Fontes, thank you so much for the donation. Villainous Vic, As I told you before. Wait, who are you? Hold on, villainous Vic. Who are you if you've told me this before? I don't recognize who you are. As I told you before, Zay, you don't need to be religious. God wants fruits of the spirit, not religious nuts. Hold on. I'm trying to place who you are because I recognize the way you speak. No, it can't. Who are you? Who is this? Who's villainous Vic? I recognize now that you got a name change, and I like it. I like your name change. Mum Donnie. I don't know who Mum Donnie is, actually. I am a retarded person. Anyway, so let's go. Did you hear me snapping? I'm from X. Oh! You speak in a way that seems so familiar. I'm so happy that you're here, villainous Vic. That's where I remembered it. Anyway, so as you see here, the Death Before Detransition crowd is nutty. So these are like leftist extremists, right? Leftist extremists. And like look at this. It says, as far as I know, this is real. As far as I know, this is real. As the Trump administration attacks trans people, some queer folks are armed and ready to bash back. So if you negate the TDS, you're excuse me, you're going to come to find that underneath all this, these people, hold on, there's two elements. TDS, remove TDS from the trans agenda here, and then take away the Christian hate for a little bit. Like, we're piercing the veil tonight. And what do you really find? Who are these boogeymen that the trans people are so terrified are going to come kill them or what have you? Because these aspersions are being casted all over the place on the internet, especially Telegram, but that's for later in the video or stream. So, as we go through this, you're going to come to find that it is leftist people who are doing said things that politicians will grab hold of and use it as a talking point, like anti-guns or like gun grabbing and what have you, okay? And innocent people, namely Christians, bear the brunt of all this. So, after... I'm all over the place, I'm so sorry. I'm a very disorganized, executive function failing type person. This message is pure gaslighting. No one gets more triggered than trans. The thing is that that's looking more and more true. It like okay. I'm going to pull the statistic out of my ass because I don't have it offhand currently, but please look it up and correct me and let's talk about it. But I do believe that 70% of transgendered people are autistic. And I mean this with kindness and love in my heart, okay? Autistic people can be quite impressionable. And it is these very impressionable minds that's being preyed on by narcissistic mothers, that's being preyed on fucking freaks on Roblox and Minecraft. Really anywhere, okay? Discord. Like, there's a Discord femboy grooming group. You remember that? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Femboys and firearms? I don't know about it, Sledge. I don't fucking know about it. Anyway, here's some posts that were from actually Reddit when Westman did what he did, which he is a raging fucking faggot. So good, he's dead. Whatever. Unfortunately, children had to die, and it just kills me. Definitely, they're manipulated by their parents and the schools. Yes, they're surrounded by it. I blame also Die Hard Saint. Hi, over on YouTube. I'm glad to have you here. Yes, it's surrounding them, right? It's surrounding them. But then in the deeper trenches of this fucking black abyss that we can fall into, we're going to get into these cults. But first I want to talk about this nihilistic accelerationism, because that is what it is. So let's read this real quick. So these are Reddit posts that are real. If you don't already follow them, which are super popular, you've probably heard of them. The Reddit Lies, the Twitter page, I totally recommend. If you want your finger on the pulse of what liberals actually think, please follow that, because they do fucking want us to die. Oh, thank you again for $1, G Fontes. The bells and whistles on the lenses. Best wishes. Oh, thank you. That's very fancy. Side note real quick before we get into this, I want to say that, like, I hope this site that I'm going through, that they allow me to do the thing where they make my really thick lenses, like, thinner, which just costs more money. But if it's not too bad, I don't mind to pay it, because I would like them to not be fucking heavy on my face. Which, for those of you who don't know, I'm very legally blind. And I have to wear, like, some thick fucking telescopes, and I hate it. I currently wear contacts, but I need a new prescription because my eyes have just gotten so much worse. All right, so let's see here. Let's read this top one. Based, take the fight to their kids so they can feel what it's like to be attacked for your identity. These people live in these bubbles, right? And they just hope something will happen. Like, they just hope somebody's gonna do a discrimination towards them. You know the meme of the guy that's poking somebody with a stick, usually a Fed, poking a frog, and he's like, "Come on, do a crime." Like the tranny, like, "Come on, do a discrimination." It's like, no, you're just yelling at people on the internet, man. Nobody is discriminating against you. It's like, it's true, it's real, they're going to kill us. And it's like, there's this thing called self-fulfilling prophecy, and I kind of feel like that starts playing into the school shooters and why they're doing this, because they want that to happen. But it's a whole hodgepodge of confusion on their part. It's all chaos, and that's what the cults want. And we're going to get into the Order of Nine Angles soon. Hey, Lake. Oh, thank you, Lake. It's good to see you. Okay, I hope you are in good health, Lake. So what Coast is saying real quick, I feel like it's by design, so Dems can go look at Republicans being transphobic combined with going after guns. The thing is that politicians care so much about image and wanting to have something to campaign on and pander to, that they don't actually care. They don't actually care about anything that is important. And let me skip a little bit here. Like, when we get into even talking about right here, like 764, you're gonna find out some, like, pretty fucked up pedophilic grooming that you did not know was a thing. And I'm like, you had an inkling of an idea, you don't know how far it goes. And politicians will not pay any mind to this, and I'm convinced it on any side, either side. Have a good night, Lake. Thank you for stopping by. It was very wonderful you graced our chat tonight. That, all right. Where's this bitch at? So look at her. What is her name again? Minnesota's Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, which, as you know, Tim Walz made Minnesota the trans refuge state on the day that this shooting occurred. But look at this. Look, like, she's taking aesthetics of, like, death before detransition and just the vile part of it, the dissension, because Democrats need something to run on. And I don't know, I'm going to tell you guys, like, being aware of this stuff, like, black pills me so bad, you know, because no one actually cares. No, when I say no one, I'm not talking about me or you guys or anyone else watching later on. I'm talking about these politicians and who are immediately like, well, we got to take the guns. Well, first of all, that's tyrannical. Fuck you. You're not taking the guns. You need the 2A to defend the 1A. And the ones who want to grab the guns are the ones who don't like people having freedom of speech at the same time. So fuck that. Fuck that. And then these trans shooters, in particular the trans ones, you know, probably anti-gun, somehow got guns, goes and shoots up a place. And then people like Gavin Newsom or the fucking mayor of Minnesota is like, well, we need more gun control. Can't even define an assault weapon. And this is what they want to fucking do. They want to egg it on. They're so brain dead. They're so careless. They don't give a fuck. And she's going to wear something like this. And it's just like, you know what? You're complacent. Or complicit. Excuse me. You're complicit in the murder of those poor children in that church. You're complicit with any future mental illness that spills fucking free into the streets and hurts anyone else. Because you need something to campaign on, and your foreigners that you brought into this country are getting removed. Your voting populace is getting fucking removed. These Order of the Nine Angles motherfuckers and all of the cults that use that same system, they all are supposed to be operating like jihad. Did they remind you of jihadis when they do this shit? Because that's what they're emulating. Hey, auto rifleman. They want our guns, then we'll give them the ammo first round at a time. They're not coming for my fucking guns. They're not coming for your guns or anybody's guns. No. They can burn in fucking hell where they belong. This is the hill Dems are willing to die on. So, I mean, so he was directly in this cult, okay? Or at least one of them. He shows off Order of the Nine Angles, I believe. AO9. Somewhere. We'll get into it. I do have his manifesto, like the one that was in Russian. This person claims that they have translated it, and I will read into it. Let's read a little bit more of these. Let me go back to this. So, let's see. Elect a fascist. Your kids are legitimate targets. Republicans are enemies of humanity, and thinning the herd is our duty. More dead Christians, lol. To me, it seems like if you elect a really bad guy that's cruel to people and weaponize his cruelness and horrific behavior against your neighbors, some of those horrible... It cuts off there. Maybe their Christo-fascist parents will think twice before supporting an admin that kills Palestinian children. You guys ever feel like they're so misguided that there's no way to talk them back to the right track? That's how I feel. These people are lost causes, right? Conservatives want to kill all trans. Shouldn't be surprised when we fight back. No. Nope. Heroic. They want to kill our kids. We are going to fight back. Who's killing what? Oh my God, Neo, thank you for the $20. To put it simply, if Mum Donnie becomes mayor of NYC, he'll let in illegals and Islamic terrorists into the city. I'd get sent to jail for defending myself against the R gangs. Also, he loves Hassan. Let's make it fucking gay if he likes Hassan. Come on now. Neo, thank you for the $20. That was a pleasant surprise. Thank you. I gotta tell you, I'm not for that motherfucker if he's all about bringing illegals in here. Like, I'm done with that. I don't care about the Dem voter base dwindling away because they're all undocumented illegals. Come on. Actual left-wing death squads? That's the thing. That's what they are. That's technically what they are. And if I'm missing things you guys are saying, I am so sorry. Also, Sentinel State, you talking about that one lady? She looks like she's wearing a costume, glasses with a nose. She does. She does look like that. Let's read a little bit more. It's already 9:30, and I want to in the next hour look at these cults because we're just going to do some basic looking, and if you guys really enjoyed this, I will do Winging It tomorrow night, and we will look deeper into stuff. And I want to shout out a guy on YouTube that I adore. I love his content. He is into the occult. However, and I know that some people aren't into that, but link down below, especially on Rumble and on YouTube, I have Jason Louv linked, and it's a live stream that he did just last night, and he is going through this it is ChatGPT, and he very kindly shared this with everyone, and he goes through it thoroughly on his own stream, and I have this linked also down below. And it is a deep dive into the Order of the Nine Angles, and in this you will learn how they have a possible connection to ISIS. Like the guy Mayat, the original creator, has like a connection to possibly creating ISIS. So I think it's worth looking into. But as you can see, these people are extremely fucked up, and they're only transferring that on to the rest of us who don't agree with them. And the Democrats are completely fine with their transgender jihad. I mean, can you tell? It's not a secret no more. They're not hiding this anymore. That's why I'm convinced that they're complicit in the murders, in these mass murders, okay? It takes psychos, like genuine psychos, to want to have power in such a way, guys. So me thinking that these politicians don't have a conscience, I don't feel wrong about that. So let's look at something here. So a lot of people were saying that he was Jewish, which I think he was. I can't confirm or deny that. But he has like anti-Semitic things on his guns and all that. Like he had things, 6 million wasn't enough, what have you. I was just some of it. That was just some of the stuff he had written on his guns. So this, in these cults that 764, well, it's specifically Order of the Nine Angles, they are, I'm going to say, brainwashed. They're brainwashed in a way to idolize, deify even, the Columbine shooters. That's why you'll see them with KMFDM, which really sucks. I love KMFDM. They are a great band. See the sticker there? Because one of the Columbine guys wore a KMFDM shirt. And I do believe it was the one that looked exactly like that. And the one school shooter that was a girl that was friends with the black kid that did the school shooting. She wore the KMFDM shirt because one of them Columbine motherfuckers wore it, right? So it's like a whole big black hole hodgepodge of like memes and really edgy 17-year-old ideologies. That's the best way I can put that. Like when you're going through this here, if you do follow that link or watch the stream where Jason Louv himself is reading his own document, you'll find that this reeks of just teenage angst and pedophilic grooming cults. They are actual rape gangs. Okay, they want to tear down the fabric of society or destroy it. And that's why, like, they'll have shit written everywhere. Let's go back to that. I'm kind of jumping around. But they're Satanists. Like, there was even, like, a pedophile who was part of 764, and they were having, that was busted. And I also, last night, not last night, but tomorrow night, we could do another Winging It if there's enough people who want it. And I will try to show more of these fucking freaks and weirdos to you guys. But there was one in particular who was part of 764, and he was a deistic Satanist, which the most of them do become, which is why they're the enemies of Christianity, if this is making sense for you guys. And he was having children, I do believe, like, as young as 10, like, doing, like, making pentagrams and shit with, like, blood and all this and that. Like, it's a pedophilic cult, again. And this guy, some of you guys may remember it, but this guy had a viral video where his stepfather walked into his bedroom and pointed a handgun at him, and he was sick of him, and the mother is like running up trying to pull her fucking pants up, and she's like drunk or something. She's like, don't do it. And then the pedo puts his feet on the ground, goes outside of his bedroom, and he's in a confrontation with the stepfather, and his stepfather just fires a shot, and it just clips the dude's ear. And then later on, that stepfather shoots himself in the head. If you guys know that one, I know that was morbid, but if you guys know that one, that guy was part of 764. And I don't know if he died or if he went to prison. Corey Knopp says the Columbine shooter made a bunch of doom maps before he killed people. Does that make Doom complicit? Do you know what I'm saying? Like how people are like, blame the guns, or they'll blame the video games, they'll blame the music. KMFDM, I love KMFDM. I love old school industrial music. I hate that they keep being used in such a way. I feel so bad for Al the singer, the whole band. Another book movie that wasn't supposed to be an instruction manual. What are you talking about? Coin Op. You know, I've never seen A Clockwork Orange, by the way, guys. I've never seen it. There's still too many movies I've not ever seen. Coast, remember the video? Okay. This cult is unholy in the sense it seeks to destroy a person's God-given identity. It does. It wants to erode morals and the personality, the mind. So you're just like a nihilistic black hole, like that nihilistic accelerationism. Yeah. Let's play this. It's a minute long. I'm gonna play this for a second. For a minute. Let's watch some of this. I want to read the manifesto, but I want to get through some of this stuff because I want to go into cult activity.
Angry. Angry.
There we go.
Go out, buy a gun.
It's okay to be angry.
That guy freaks me out so bad.
If you try to stop me from going into a woman's bathroom,
Do you see the hysteria?
be the
Who are they
last
supposed to be
mistake
mad
you ever
at?
make.
It is man.
Find that anger.
Just because.
Harness it to do good in the world.
That doesn't make sense. That's not how it works.
This anger
Done, man. We can just make a batch and say that some of us well.
anger is probably my primary source of motivation.
You want to call me sir again?
The thing is, you don't have to leave.
You lose your bed.
For everything that I do.
Cut that out.
This is actually the first time I've
or you'll
seen
go
this.
home and
I've
never
had
do
it for a while. I even retweeted
Call
it,
to action or call
but I
to
kept
arms.
waiting until I could stream it before I could watch it.
Don't be afraid to show your anger.
I mean, it's one thing to live in spite. Like, spite can fuel a person, but when you have anger, it really just seems like that these trans people, trans folks, okay, not all of them, but a lot of them that are just terminally on fucking line are they got testosterone and now they got like a flood of estrogen, which already makes women neurotic. I'm a living example. I'm not gonna fucking lie to you guys. When it's a week before my period and my estrogen drops and all of this and that, I am a crabby bitch. But imagine if I had testosterone mixed with that and a gun. Well, I'm sane, but it's I just like. And then we're talking about harnessing the anger, the hate. First of all, this is some Palpatine from Star Wars shit. All right. And the left wants this. Let me go back to it. Let me go back to it. Hold on. They want that. Okay? I don't like to be like a doomer like Tim Pool can be. But whenever he does talk about that we're in a civil war, it does honestly seem like it. It does seem like it. And it seems like that they've brought in foreign aid from straight up illegals as well. And it's just this constant ulcer that never heals on this earth. And I'm not trying to be a doomer. I'm sorry. I don't want to black pill. You know, but all right. I had another one. This one's like 7 minutes long. Now this is actually Alex Jones, and we're gonna watch a little bit of it that shows trans violence, and it seems like the trans folks are not listen, not all of them. I'm not trying to make like a gross generalization that's like a straw man that some low IQ can come in and be like, it's not like every trans person. Just because one trans person committed a crime doesn't mean that we need to take rights away from trans people and then like take drag queens out in the street and beat them and whatever else stupid shit liberals that don't have a functioning frontal lobe have said to me. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is that even if they got everything their way, whatever they wanted, we somehow bowed down and kissed the feet of trans people for their rights or whatever, they wouldn't be happy until they have destroyed Christianity and God's the human collective of what God is. And that is the truth of it, because they're nihilistic accelerationists. They are just incidentally trans in the midst of all this. Okay. Hey Nagatako, I'm very happy to see you. You've came in at the right time. That I'm like blowing a gasket over shit. Are women ever sane by Satris? When your life is a lie, the truth becomes a moral threat. A mortal threat. Tony, that's deep. That's very deep, actually. If we went back to traditional punishments, most of these people would behave or be swinging from the gallows long before they went on a killing spree. Well, bring insane asylums back. Okay? We need something. It kind of seems like SSRIs are the new lobotomy. If they work for you, they work for you, but the majority of people don't need them. They just need to do better in life. That's it. So we're going to watch a little bit of this. And I will make it bigger. Hopefully I'm not covering it too much, and this is going to be a little hard, guys. But this stream tonight was not meant to be easy. And I'm sorry for that. You know, that's why I'm up in the air. Like, should I wait a little while to do the next Wingin' It? And we just have some fun playing Schedule 1 tomorrow night. I don't know. I also have Thursday night too. So we got time together, guys. We do. They will never be happy because they are evil, and evil is never satisfied. That's very true. That is very true. Normie Democrats are so cocked, they go along with this agenda. And they're so, like, fingers in their ears. Tim Walz is probably the best example of how fucked up shit really is. Hold on, let me make this small because my screen cuts off a little bit. We'll do that. I'm gonna play this while we chat. Oh, hello, you better play. You better play for this.
Chaos and fear are what erupted in the hallways of STEM School in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, as the gunshots rang out. Police say 18-year-old Devin Erickson and another student started shooting inside of classrooms just before 2 p.m. local time.
Multiple people have died this morning, including that shooter who was taken down by Metro Police.
Audrey Hale.
So this is jihadi. This is the jihadi shit that they do.
The New York Post looked like Tuesday, while the hashtag trans terrorism trended on Twitter.
A shooting by a fellow student Wednesday.
This is my first time watching this too, guys. So
and Mason Schermerhorn and teachers Richard Aspinwall and Christina Irami. 2 school resource officers confronted the suspect and took him into custody.
I want you to know
he was armed with an AR platform-style weapon.
Mental illness is rampant amongst the trans community.
The shooter has been identified as 17-year-old Dylan
really any
Butler.
community, sure, right?
After a shooter opened fire,
but I want you to know that these people are primarily cult members, and they're just incidentally trans.
And 17 others were rushed to the hospital.
We're slowly uncovering why I'm saying that, okay?
Transgender, and he left behind a trail of clues that appeared to show that he was targeting these kids
Westman was the most
because of their Christian faith.
Transparent.
Police identified the shooter as Robin Westman, 23-year-old. He was born Robert, but reportedly changed his name legally in 2020. Robin Westman's motive was a clear hit against Christians. Even more.
Yeah, it was deemed a hate crime against Christians, and I want you guys to know that Westman had a good life. He has a father that is in the CIA and works for ESRI, which I'm not too fully sure on what that was that he does. And his mother, both his mother and his father, were very supportive of transing him as a child. But he grew up, because he was 22, to regret being quote-unquote brainwashed into being trans. But he was talking about how he can't cut his hair because he'll get reported to someone. And I was very deeply vested into who is that someone that he can't be reported to. So he kept his long hair. And ESRI, yeah. Oh, that's some gay shit. I think it, like, what is it? What is ESRI? Do you guys happen to know? And so he had a good life, but he was in a cult.
More chilling.
And we're not, his mom has a lot to be blamed for. And I understand, like, people like Andy No. Shout out to Andy No. I love Andy No. He's a great journalist. I guess he's technically an investigative journalist. And he posted a tweet that was talking about that his mother should be given a bit of a break because she was just doing what society was pressuring her to do, which was transfer her son before he was old enough to make decisions on his own. But my argument is that nobody is worth kissing up to, people pleasing that much that you'll throw away your own child's identity. It's just, there's no way. There's nothing. Status means more. Fuck that. I don't want to live in that world. Auto rifleman, are you for real? I don't doubt you, but holy shit. Auto rifleman says, I still hate that some people were trying to cope that this person wasn't transgender because Robin could be a male name. No one's ever happy, right? This probably goes deeper than we think. It certainly does. I'm going to let it play a little bit more in just a second, by the way. They make GIS mapping software used by governments that cost like $10,000 per user paid for by your tax dollars. It's one of the worst things in the world. Underratedly worse. I think he's like the top guy for ESRI. Well, Dragos, that's also a good point, too. There's a lot of them that aren't trans. Like, he technically did not see himself as trans by the end of it. But I don't have sympathy for this murderer. We're going to keep it playing. I'm going to keep it going. Oh, Neil also has a good point. I love how we're getting demonized. My nose is so clogged up, forgive me. I love how we're getting demonized, but we're not the ones shooting kids. I know. We're not. What are we doing? We're in trouble for trying to get a child, a friend, family member to love themselves first before deciding big life decisions. Right? Are we bad? No. They're being... It's like algorithmically conditioned to fucking want to hurt us. And again, for the edgy teenagers who love trying to get 10-year-olds off Roblox and what have you, I'm going to say it now. One more time. I'm armed. I love guns. A lot. They're expensive. I wish they weren't. Ammo is also expensive. But I do have this. My neighbors are even armed. They are aware of who I am and what I do. And they also tune into my streams every once in a while. I'm very close friends with my local police department. And I have 2 liaison officers that assist me. And they watch my stream sometimes too. And I feel very special about that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not really someone to fuck with. Like, you're not gonna get very far. I live in a very red area. Everyone knows each other. Like, you're gonna be the freakiest looking thing that creeps around my neighborhood, and people are gonna instantly know what's going on. So, I'm just saying. I have to say this because there are people under the age of 25 with no frontal lobe that don't... I don't want anyone to get hurt. And... even though they think differently, these culty people. Alright, I'm going to let this play. I'm so bad about talking over things.
Westman wasn't just armed. He was ready to trap kids inside. In the video, he shows off a 2x4 meant to jam the school's exit door. Across it, in black marker, no escape. What jumps out, though, is the firing range target pinned to his wall. The headshot wasn't a silhouette. It was Jesus Christ.
He's a Satanist.
Crown of thorns and all. Scattered across the bed were magazines for those firearms, each one defaced with messages. One read, "Where is your God?" Another read, "For the children." And the largest magazine of all, killed Donald Trump.
Just 2 years ago, another trans 20-something walked into a Christian school in Nashville with a rifle and shot 3 kids.
So I don't know if when this bitch did it, that it was cult related, because she did actually go to this school, and she was just jealous of all the kids whose parents loved them. But why turn it on the kids? There's something somewhere.
Kids and 3 adults.
Yeah,
They
we can say
buried the
mental illness, but
and locked down the case.
they're
We've
doing
seen
it
trans shootings in Colorado
as
and
a
in
means
Maryland.
of
They even shot up an ICE facility in Texas. And it seems
like sending a
half of
message.
Antifa's trans. A couple of thems just got popped for firebombing Teslas. The mayor of Minneapolis says you can't say that.
Anybody who is
this is the mayor that talks shit about Christians praying.
using this as an
He's a Russian Jewish man.
opportunity to villainize our trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity.
So why aren't we allowed to help them? Do you guys remember in Trump's first term that he didn't want trans people joining the military temporarily because he wanted them to be subjected to some mental health help before they joined? Why are we not allowed to help them? What is going on? Why are we not allowed to help them? Wait till you get to the moms, eh? Hold on, I'll let it keep playing. Hey, Unrooted? Oh, what's all this? Oh, is it gonna go into Alex? We don't have to watch Alex's thing. Oh, it's just an ad? Alex, come on. It all boils down to lawfare and judges. I know. Well, you're right. Side note, look at the judge, the fucking beach cunt judge that's charging Shiloh Hendricks for saying a bad word. And it's like, Zay, she said it to a kid. And it's just like, I support... Alright, hang on. Let's be for real here. I got your Macy on. I have been verbally assaulted by black people numerous times. And I don't give a fuck, man. That it's stupid, but it's their First Amendment right to say what they want. I don't care what Shiloh said to that kid. I don't give a fuck. But we're not going to invert the justice system just to appease a minority of people, like left-leaning people who just want to have power over everybody else. I get you, Nagatako. That was something else, though. That was just like, what, 3 minutes? And it was telling, wasn't it? Oh, I want to save this right here. If we do more Winging It tomorrow night to talk about the SSRIs problem. Let's do that tomorrow night. Okay, I'm going to put it up to a vote. If you guys want something chill that's less stress. And then I do Winging It next week. I don't know. I like letting you guys decide. Let's look over the manifesto. Which I can read this a little bit more in depth tomorrow night if we wanted, okay? I was a little ill prepared because I wanted to talk about the cults and then I wanted to talk about Westman. I also don't believe that he could speak Russian naturally. I think he's a Slavaboo, which is a... Much like Weeaboo, it's a person that's not actually Russian. And they have like a fascination with Slavic culture. Slavaboo. Like in a way to manipulate. I hear you. I get you. Hey, Zine. I see them being used as weapons is why we can't help them. The ones keeping us to give real help to them want to use them as weapons. I agree with you. That's exactly right. The Democrats know that they have jihads. They have their own, like, trans jihadis. Flogging and stockades. That kind of sounds like something that people would not want to be kink shamed over. What? Let's read the introduction. So this was the part of the manifesto that was in Russian. Shout out to Discord Lies for translating it the other day for us. Good night, Coin. Thank you for being here. You sleep good and have a wonderful day tomorrow. Again, I'm gonna like skim through this, but we don't. If we want in-depth, guys, just speak up, and I want to do what you want me to do, okay? But we're gonna read this first part. Page 1. I have had thoughts of mass murder for a long time. I am very conflicted with writing this journal. I need to get my thoughts out without getting put on a watch list. This journal is not going to be very organized or easy to read. Or will it be? Boring. Barf, question mark, of thoughts. Lately I have been entranced into the world of mass shooters. Much like the shooters prior to him. I have known about these events for years, question mark, even at the time being morbidly obsessed. As of late, I have really let myself go. Presumably something akin to putting research into every single mass shooting video I can find, much like the trans shooters before him. My interest is specifically school shootings. Started, I think, in 7th grade. I remember one day I was talking with Valerie. She was my crush, and I was with unintelligible because he does not know how to actually speak Russian. I asked them if there was a school shooting, where would you hide? I don't remember how I asked that, but it, unintelligible, scared them. They laughed it off too, but later told unintelligible. Blah 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 blah. How far does this go? Ooh, listen to this last part. Notably, throughout the video, he could be heard whispering disturbing phrases such as fall apart and break and die, bugs under my skin, and kill them all. Coupled with highly disorganized writing, this strongly suggests the likelihood of schizophrenia. Oh, good night, dingas. Have a wonderful night, and you sleep good too, okay? Make sure the ding ding gets good sleepies. Yeah. The ding ding. Cyrillic to English, yeah. Yeah. I kind of, like, again, I don't really want to, like, bother too much with this. If you guys don't mind, if you want me to read it, let me know. He got in big trouble over it. This seems so silly to read. Let's skip around it here. It says, anyway, for the people that read this, if any, hopefully not, I'm writing this in this way so the average snoop won't immediately freak out. Oh, so he was writing it in Cyrillic, or, Russian, just so people wouldn't know immediately what was going on. Okay, now that makes sense. I thought he was just a Slavaboo. I accidentally clicked that and lost my place. Hang on. I got in big trouble. I'm writing in Cyrillic text in English phonics. He means phonetics. Oh, okay. I also sprinkled some Russian words, I think, with terrible grammar and spelling. Oh, okay. As long as, like, I was like, dude, what is he fucking doing? Oh, he was just trying to hide it. A Slava boo? Yeah. Unmuted. I really just don't get this mentality. I was in grade school when Columbine happened. There was absolutely nobody talking like they thought that was cool. Well, you know what? Let's save the manifesto because, like, I truly just don't care what the fuck he has to say. But I might include it for tomorrow night if I end up doing a Wingin' It. If I don't, we'll do one next week for sure. But you know what? Let's move on. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about why he liked the Columbine shooters so much, and excuse me, and what all this means. Like, why did they deify Dylan Klebold and the other motherfucker that I can't be bothered to remember the names of? Hi, Spooky Pookie, a vodka boo that's based on the language from A Clockwork Orange. I've got to see this movie. Is it really that big of a deal to trans people to watch Clockwork Orange? Be honest with me, guys. Is this like a thing that I don't know about? For those of you who don't know, I lived a very sheltered life, and I wasn't really exposed to movies until I started streaming. And as you guys know, Dirty Casualty, that helps me run my Discord server, he does bad movie nights on Thursdays, and I get exposed to movies that way, which this week is I Am Bruce Campbell on Thursday, by the way. And we didn't get to watch it last week because I was sick. Anyway, I want to educate you on what the bite model is. And my head's in the way. Hold on. Can you see it? Bite model of authoritarian control. We're going to look at this real quick because I want to educate myself and I want to educate you. And well, listen, just sit and learn. It's like some cult related stuff. 1. Behavior control. Regulate individuals' physical reality. 2. Dictate where, how, and with whom the member lives and associates or isolates. When, how, and with whom the member has sex. Control types of clothing and hairstyles. Do you guys remember that he was afraid of getting in trouble if he cut his hair? Regulate diet, food and drink, hunger and or fasting, manipulation and deprivation of sleep, financial exploitation, manipulation or dependence, restrict leisure, entertainment, vacation time, major time spent with group indoctrination and rituals and or self-indoctrination, including the internet, permission required for major decisions, rewards and punishments used to modify behaviors, both positive and negative, discourage individualism, encourage groupthink. Now, does that in and of itself, right there, that line, right there, number 12, let's read it again. Discourage individualism, encourage groupthink. Does that not sound like the transing kids as a whole right there? Oh, Rumble keeps freezing. I'm sorry. Yeah, come over to Kick. I also got YouTube rolling. I gotta go. Hit me up on X and drop me a follow, Zay. Alright, Vicious Vic, thank you so much for being here. It was nice. It won't let you sub to me? What? Rumble has been having some issues. Nagataka, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. I'm also on Kick and YouTube. Like, if you scroll down under my video description, you'll find my links if you want to check me out anywhere else. This is just like Nixium. Nixium is loosely connected to this, if I recall correctly, but you are correct, son. That's just every organization. I mean, yeah, but it sounds so particular to military corps and all that. Okay, corps. I said it wrong. It speaks volumes that their only solution is to take themselves out after they commit these atrocities. Their ideology holds up like a house of cards. Right, again, they are actually jihads. They're just not Muslim or Islamic or whatever. They use that model. Anyway. Punish disobedience by beating, torture, burning, cutting, rape, or tattooing / branding. Rape. Hold on. So, torture, burning, cutting, rape. You're going to hear a little bit about that, about how they blackmail little kids into doing stuff for them. In just a couple tabs. I'm going to say brace yourselves now. This was not meant to be an easy topic tonight. Threaten harm to family and friends. Force individual to rape or be raped. Encourage and engage in corporal punishment. Instill dependency and obedience. Kidnapping, beating, torture, rape, separation of families, imprisonment, murder. And that's just the behavior control. So let's listen to information control. Deception. Deliberately withhold information. Distort information to make it more acceptable. Systematically lie to the cult member. 2. Minimize or discourage access to non-cult sources of information, including internet, TV, radio, books, articles, newspaper, magazines, media. Critical information. Former members. Keep members busy so they don't have time to think and investigate. Control through cell phone with texting, calls, internet tracking. Compartmentalize information into outsider versus insider doctrines. Ensure that information is not freely accessible. Control information at different levels and missions within group. Allow any leadership to decide who needs to know what and when. Encourage spying on other members. Man, this sounds like Scientology. I'm just relating it to shit that I know pretty deeply. Encourage spying on other members. Impose a buddy system to monitor and control member. Report deviant thoughts, feelings, and actions to leadership. Ensure that individual behavior is monitored by group. Extensive use of cult-generated information and propaganda, including newsletters, magazines, journals, audio tapes, videotapes, YouTube, movies, and other media. Look at that. Damn. You're in a cult, baby. Baby. Let's see. Unethical use of confession. Information about sins used to disrupt and or dissolve identity boundaries. Withholding forgiveness or absolution. Manipulation of memory. Possible false memories. We got 2 more sections. An abusive foster family, honestly. I've unfortunately had some friends growing up that, well, I mean, it was unfortunate for them that they were stuck into foster families. And I've heard a couple of them say, like more than one, say that they would have rather stayed with their abusive home. And in one instance, like the mom wouldn't even feeding her son. And he's like, I would have so rather to just stay there than to have been placed in foster care. Gut-wrenching. And they're not so different, just not as violent. Really spooky. Well, listen, I'm proud of you for, letting go of that vice. Spooky pooky. Okay. Thought control. I know this is all stuff that we all pretty well know, but I think it's worth going through because you're going to find the deeper you get into this that it is very edgy teenagers. And they don't know. You know what I mean? They don't know. They've become part of something that it's just pure nihilism. And it makes them give up on life. In fact, it makes them want to hate. Be angry. Why? Okay, so let's see. Thought control. Require members to internalize the group's doctrine as truth. Adopting the group's map of reality as reality. Instill black and white thinking. Decide between good versus evil. This right here, this whole thought control thing, is what you're going to see a whole lot of when we get a couple tabs over to the Order of Nine Angles. Hey, Phantom Warlock! Hi! I haven't seen you in a good while. You guys, you please excuse me for like 2 seconds. I have got to blow my friggin' nose because I still have this stupid cold. So hang on just a moment. Okay. Alright. Thought control. Thank you, guys. I had to blow my nose so hard. I had to, like, clear the fucking sinuses, you know? I give it, like, 3 more days and this shit will finally go away. Alright. Back to it. Let's see. We blah 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 blah. Require members to internalize the group's doctrine as truth. Adopting the group's map of reality as reality. Instill black and white thinking. Decide between good versus evil. Organize people into us versus them. Insiders versus outsiders. Change person's name and identity. Use of loaded language and cliches with constrict knowledge. Stop critical thoughts and reduce complexities into platitudinous. I am a retarded person. Hello. Platitudinous buzzwords. I mean, I understand it. It's simplify the critical thinking as best you can. Tyrion, good morning. Again, if I'm missing things you guys are saying, I am so sorry. I will take a moment and try to catch up here in a minute. Encourage only good and proper thoughts. Hypnotic techniques are used to alter mental states, undermine critical thinking, and even to age regress the member. That was a big thing in the 90s. You ever heard about those cults that was all about age regression? And they'd get on the floor screaming like babies and shit like that. It was freaky. I haven't heard about them in forever. Like, that was something that, like, I remember watching on TV when I was a little kid. Hypnotic techniques are used to... Did I just read that? Nope. Encourage only good and proper thoughts. This right here is all proof that the left is just straight up a cult. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Am I wrong, guys? Is this the trans cult handbook or something? No, this is how you identify a cult. This is how you identify a cult. This is the BITE system. Yeah, the BITE model of authoritarian control. That's what this is. A thing? Baby cults? No, it's like age regression cults. And alright, anyway. Let's get through this. Hypnotic techniques, we just read that. Memories are manipulated and false memories are created. Teaching thought-stopping techniques would shut down reality testing by stopping negative thoughts and allowing only positive thoughts, including denial, rationalization, justification, wishful thinking, chanting, meditating, praying, speaking in tongues, singing, or humming. Now, the left really likes their mantras. I don't know any offhand, but they tend to like have mantras that they'll say to each other. It's really fucked up. Rejection of rational analysis, critical thinking, and constructive criticism. That's where we're at now as a society. Forbid critical questions about leader, doctrine, or policy allowed. Labeling alternative belief systems as illegitimate, evil, and not useful. And still new map of reality. That thought control is what we've been living under since COVID happened. Tell me I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. Am I wrong? Emotional control. This is our last section, and then we're going to go learn about the Order of 9 Angles, okay? Manipulate, blah, blah, blah. Manipulate and narrow the range of feelings. Some emotions and or needs are deemed as evil, wrong, or selfish. Teach emotion stopping techniques to block feelings of homesickness, anger, and doubt. Make the person feel that problems are always their own fault, never the leader's or the group's fault. Promote feelings of guilt or unworthiness, such as identity guilt, you are not living up to your potential, your family is deficient, your past is suspect, your affiliations are unwise, your thoughts, feelings, actions are irrelevant or selfish, social guilt, historical guilt. Instill fear, such as fear of thinking independently, the outside world, enemies, losing one's salvation, leaving or being shunned by the group, others' disapproval. Extremes of emotional highs and lows, love bombing and praise one moment and then declaring you are a horrible sinner. Ritualistic and sometimes public confession of sins. Phobia, indoctrination. Incalculating. Irrational fears about leaving the group or questioning the leader's authority. No happiness or fulfillment possible outside of the group. Terrible consequences if you leave. Hell, demon possession, incurable diseases, accidents, suicide, insanity, 10,000 reincarnations, etc. Which cult was doing the 10,000 reincarnations? Shunning of those who leave, fear of being rejected by friends and family, never a legitimate reason to leave. Those who leave are weak, undisciplined, unspiritual, worldly, brainwashed by family or counselor, are seduced by money, sex, or rock and roll. I've been seduced by rock and roll before, I won't lie. Threats of harm to ex-member and family, and that is the bite model of authoritarian control. Okay? But it's just the rules page for your typical leftist Reddit channel. It 100% fucking is. You're right. Authoritarian thought control? Sure. Why not? We'll just blame the right wing for it. Anyway, it is just Wikipedia. We're going to move on. This is just Wikipedia. If you want more, I want to skim over the top of this. The iceberg of what this is, so we can all like see fully in what it is. Oh, Tyrion, you have to go. I hope you have a good morning, okay? Have a good morning, Tyrion. And you have also like a wonderful rest of your day, too. Treat yourself good today, Tyrion. But yeah, if you want like in-depth, guys, let me refer you again to what I have linked down below that was made by Jason Louv. I have him linked as well. It is ChatGPT, but it's about 40 pages of just a deep dive into the fucking pretty much history of Order of the 9 Angles. And if we have time, I'll read some of it with you guys. Okay? So, the Order of the 9 Angles. And why this is so big and special, and I just keep mentioning it, okay, is because their system, their structure, their system and structure is what has created shit like 764 and Colt and various other ones, okay? All the stuff that you saw on his gun, All right, that he even has O9A on it somewhere, on his gun somewhere. But that is this. This is the satanic cult. They're technically called neo-Nazi, and the reason why they're called neo-Nazi, when you will see that they are actually far left extremists, is because of the use of like a swastika or something that they've co-opted that the Nazis may have had, to use it for some like means. They are not neo-Nazi. I think most people would agree that this is not actually a neo-Nazi group. Maybe it is, I don't know. But as far as I can see, it just seems that because they use a swastika, that makes them neo-Nazi. But as far as I understand, white nationalists tend to not be deistic Satanists. And as you see right here, it says Satanist group. But Nazis are left wing. I mean, you're right about that. Technically, I mean, Synthma State is technically very right about that. I don't know why they do have to call this like neo-Nazi and refer to right wing, because this group is not that. They're not that. My gut tells me Anton LaVey was involved in the O9A group somehow. No. I'm not defending Anton LaVey, because I think the modern Church of Satan, I think that's Anton's vision. That's just meant to be atheism to mock Christianity. Again, I'm not defending. That's just some edgy nonsense, and then one of the leaders got busted for like CP. So I mean, fuck them. They're nasty. Fuck those people. LaVeyan Satanism is not deistic. As far as I understand, they're not deistic. These guys are. Order of the Nine Angles are. So let's read it. It is, again, Wikipedia, and I know that's like the mind hungers for something that's not as controlled as Wikipedia, but this is the best I got for right now, okay? So let's read it. O9A is a satanic left-hand path. I don't know how they got that one, because it's a cult. And terrorist network that originated in the United Kingdom, but has since branched out into other parts of the world, claiming to have been established in the 1960s, and rose to public recognition in the early 1980s, attracting attention for its neo-Nazi ideology and activism, describing its approach as traditional Satanism. It also exhibits hermetic and modern pagan elements in its beliefs. Now, you guys, like, I think the occult's pretty cool. And I know a lot of you, like, judge me for that, like, because you don't think it's so cool. And it's like, hey, I understand. And this is the dark side of it. This is one of those groups that takes things like the structure of, like, the Golden Dawn or something like that, and they take it to a bad place. And these are not good people. That's all I'm gonna say. He has a few cults. Are you talking about LaVey? Like Adam Waffen, lol, but they aren't they glowies? So that's one thing too, speaking of like Adam Waffen and all that, in my personal opinion, when the Fed gets brought into something, they don't really do anything. And it's always like people who were already part of the organization that becomes like CIA informants. Nothing really gets done, And I don't want to discredit the people who work with law enforcement to filter out the pedo networks, and they have to be subjected to looking at CP. I've heard stories of like the turnover rates are pretty high because that stuff is disturbing for the mind that wants to do good and bust pedos. I don't want to discredit the people that are actively trying to clean up our society in this means, right? But it's usually all I've ever seen is that it's CIA informants or people who turn CIA, and then yeah, nothing ever gets done. When the Fed gets involved, nothing ever gets done. I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. Like, I believe there's people trying, but nothing's ever getting done. You know? I mean, look at Twitter before Elon took over. They had a bot for busting CP, but it was used to fight and censor right-wing people. And nothing ever gets done. Nothing ever gets done. I have seen, I mean, how many, like, all over the fucking internet, even though Megal went down because of, like, how bad, like, the pedophilic freakish bullshit was, because people will let their children just freely on the internet. It's like, I understand there can be an argument made that, like, kids are going to bypass any kind of parental censor or what have you, but yeah, I don't think the Fed does anything. I feel very black-pilled saying all that. I don't think they do absolutely fucking anything more than to help traffic it around. But I don't want to discredit the ones who are actively part of the Feds that's trying to weed out pedophiles, because not everybody is, like, trying to, like, traffic it around. That's all I'm getting at. So anyway, let's keep going on. La 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 la. Where are we at? Describing its approach, we read that. Okay, we read this. And then let's read down a little bit. According to the order's own claims, it was established in the Welsh marches of Western England during the late 1960s by a woman previously involved in a secretive pre-Christian tradition. This account adds that in 1973, a man named Anton Long was initiated into the group, subsequently becoming its Grand Master. Several academics who have studied the ONA believe that Anton Long is probably the pseudonym of the British neo-Nazi activist David Myatt. Okay, and we're going to learn about him in just a minute. Although Myatt has denied that this is the case, from the late 1970s onward, Long wrote books and articles which propagated the order's ideas. In 1988, the organization launched its own journal, Fenrir. Through these ventures, it established links with other neo-Nazi Satanist groups around the world, among them the Temple of Blood in the United States and the Black Order in New Zealand. During the 2000s, the ONA furthered its cause through embracing the internet. Hang on a second, I gotta blow my nose again. I just want to stop being sick. I'll catch up on what you guys are saying. Let me get through some of this, okay? Make sure your tinfoil hats are on because we're now learning about the cults, okay? Alright, so by the 2010s, It was attracting further attention for its influence over neo-Nazi militant groups such as Atomwaffen Division and National Action, as well as broader extremist networks like 764, and we're going to learn about that one shortly. The ONA promotes the idea that human history can be divided into a series of aeons, each of which contains a corresponding human civilization. Adherents, if you thought that we're talking about a cult from the 60s and it didn't involve some spacey shit, listen here. You need to fucking guess again. Yeah, body, just let me get well. Yes! I've been sleeping good. I've been staying hydrated. Let me stop fucking having a runny nose. Adherents believe that the current aeonic civilization is that of the Western world, but that the evolution of this society is threatened by the Magian Nazarene influence of the Judeo-Christian religion, which the order seeks to combat in order to establish a militaristic new social order, which it calls the Imperium. According to order teachings, this is necessary in order for a galactic civilization to form in which Aryan society will colonize the Milky Way. It advocates a spiritual path in which practitioners are required to break societal taboos by isolating themselves from society, committing crimes, embracing political extremism and violence, and carrying out acts of human sacrifice. ONA members practice magic, believing that they are able to do it by channeling energies into their own casual realm from an acasual realm where the laws of physics do not apply. And these magical actions are designed to help them achieve their ultimate goal of establishing the Imperium. Imagine you're an edgy 17-year-old with a shitty home life. You know what I'm saying? This is like schizo post meme shit. Yes. I always wondered on Telegram why it was like a lot of these like super neo-Nazi. They almost don't seem that. They seem more like they hate everybody, but they're just kind of stuck with the right wing because we like the same memes. And they just go into these black fucking holes on Telegram. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Who's on Telegram? They're gonna make Warhammer 40k real. I thought that too. Let me make this dark. I hate that Wikipedia never stays dark. Space Nazis? This is some Wolfenstein type shit. That's why I said, imagine being an edgy 17-year-old and this is like the philosophy you're exposed to. And not only like do you get to feel smart and cool, but you get to pretend to cast fucking magic spells. Oh my god. This has been online since Newgrounds. Yeah, it's been around since the 60s. Edgelords, fucking edgelords are 15 years old. I know. It's really cringe. Oh, I don't have to imagine that. I'm just kidding. Put the straight jacket down. Warlock. Man, wait till we go into the 17-year-olds that think that they won't be tried as an adult because they have extorted pictures from like 10-year-olds. That's over here with cult. Okay. It's grotesque. Like, it's stomach turning. Reading cult like really fucks me up. They all do. Let's skip around a little bit. Actually, let's read this last paragraph. I do believe that this is crucial. You're talking about chronically online people. To be frank, any of my fascist friends don't know what Telegram is. I found out because of predator poachers. I've had like a slew of like far right wing friends, online, and they usually retweet to Telegram, and because they'll get banned everywhere else, but you won't get banned on Telegram. So Telegram is like naturally accumulating the worst type of people, and just take that information as you will. The ONA eschews any central authority or structure. Instead, it operates as a broad network of associates, termed like collective with a K, who are inspired by the text, which are originally authored by Long and other members of the inner ONA. Okay, keep that in mind. Like, they have the structure, and then these other cults, specifically that's ran by teenagers, like 764 and Cult, are. Okay, they're ran by the teenagers, and they use this system. It's crazy to me. The group is composed largely of clandestine cells, which are called Nexions. Some academic estimates suggest that the number of individuals who are broadly associated with the order falls in the low thousands. Various rapes, killings, and acts of terrorism have been perpetrated by far-right individuals, included influenced by ONA. They're only considered far right wing because of the Nazi symbolism, but I have you know right here and now that they're not either side. They're not left or right. They're not left or right. I have you know that right now. With various British politicians and activists calling for ONA to be proscribed as a terrorist group, which they are. They never lie about their own cults. You're right about that. So it is satanic, right? And we know that it came from Shropshire in the 60s. Yeah, let's go on to David Myatt real quick. Because now you know that it's a secret society and that it is decentralized, and other people, other groups like use their system. So we got that down. So here is David Myatt, born 1950. If he looks Muslim to you, that's because he converted to it. But he's not. He's white. We're just not allowed to see him. Wikipedia's just put this tiny picture of him on there. Let's see. He goes by Abdul Aziz Ibn Myatt al-Qari. Is a British writer, religious leader, far right. He is not far right. I'm sorry. And former Islamist militant. Most notable for allegedly being the political and religious leader of the white nationalist theistic Satanist organization Order of the 90. I guess the white nationalism is the thing that's going to make it far right, but I don't see how that alone defines being leftist or right wing. Is ONA real, or is it just another fake glowy? I believe it's real. I do believe ONA is real. I have heard allusions to ONA for a decade now. I mean, that doesn't make it any less glowy, but there's no doubt Fed's part of it. Going back to what I was saying earlier, Feds will dive their hand into many groups, right? But they don't do anything to stop anything or help anything. It's like politicians have to know that they're there, that they're happening, because Feds are becoming part of it. Oh, we're getting raided by Squishy. It's a Squishy raid. Hi, Squishy. Hi, Raiders. Welcome in. Hi, Squishy. I've had friendlier conversations with skinheads than the average lefty. I have too as well. Probably because the skinheads had hobbies first before ideology. It's kind of funny. That's a good point. I have a more diverse friends group than any leftist does, because a leftist is just going to have like a hodgepodge of trans people around them most of the time. But I keep like very diverse group of people. I have leftist friends. I have far right extremist quote unquote friends, and they always end up being Nazi LARPers. So much for the extremism, right? I've known a few death before detransition folks who ended up just hating me because I had the wrong think. You know, and it's like, even if there's stuff that they agree on, they still see it as, I'm going to vote right wing, and therefore I'm siding with the Christians, and I want them to die. And I'm like, that's just not how it is. They just don't seem to think that I'm of my own sane mind. But honestly, that's the pot calling the kettle black right there. Okay. Literally started it. That's why it's being ignored. It's glowing and real. I mean, maybe. It could be. I mean, that's probably the reason why it's never been stopped before. And it just keeps infiltrating other groups. Like, again, like Maya might be directly involved with starting ISIS. Okay. There's like some speculation to that. Let's keep going. We might go a little bit over 11 o'clock, but I do have to get to bed on time. So that's why I want you guys to know that I'm totally down to do a Winging It tomorrow night as well. Glowy and real. Well, so let's take for an example. If we want to entertain the idea that this is like glowy created. They have to fool members into believing it's real. Because, I mean, check out Patriot Front. If you look up modern Patriot Front right now, they don't look like mid-30s lean guys anymore. Because that was the giveaway that it was feds, right? Well, they've changed their image a bit because too many people kept noticing that. And so now they have a diverse mix of body types. And I personally believe that Patriot Front was completely made by the Fed. And because they're the only group that goes out there. Well, I mean Blood Tribe, but we haven't heard of Blood Tribe in a while. Who goes out there and the cameras are all ready to document Patriot Front. Very conveniently. And they almost look like the radical leftists who use U-Hauls and all that to like bus in like bricks and all that shit, right? Like they kind of seem like they're functioning the same way. And I'm pretty sure at this point, to have the diverse mix of people in it, that those are people who probably believed Patriot Front was real, and they're just goobers. Wow, Coast, that's crazy. They were celebrating certain people that died. I had to start cutting myself away from some leftists that I was friends with on the internet because they were just so misandrous. And they would treat my friends bad. And then they do all collectively a lot that they think that the average sane person, such as you guys or myself, like, who am I hurting? You know what I mean? Who are you guys hurting? We're just sitting here having an open dialogue about things, but yet, you know, fucking wackos would be like, you're killing trans people right now just talking. Like, you know, they want to say some shit like that. Anyway, so David Myatt. Let's see, his early life. He grew up in, what's that, Tanganyika, now part of Tanzania, where his father worked as a civil servant for the British government, and later in the Far East, where he studied martial arts. He moved to England in 1967 to complete his schooling. He is reported to live in the Midlands. According to Jeffrey Kaplan, who's that? Was an American academic who wrote and edited a number of books on racism, religious violence, terrorism, and the far right. He looks like a crazy man. Myatt has undertaken a global odyssey which took him on extended stays in the Middle East and East Asia, accompanied by studies of religions. Studies of religions ranging from Christianity to Islam in the Western tradition, and Taoism and Buddhism in the Eastern path. In the course of this Siddhartha-like search for truth, Myatt sampled the life of the monastery in both Christian and Buddhist forms. Wow, it says years active in the Order of Nine Angles is 74 to 2016. Oh, he has Faustian quotes. What? Have you guys ever noticed something? That people who get like super involved in deistic Satanism, they always go to Buddhism. Anton LaVey's daughter did that as well. She was raised to be a priestess of the church, and then she's now like a devout practicing Buddhist. And I've seen others too. Like there's a few musicians I knew of that were deistic Satanists, and then on the side they're just straight up like no hair having, completely bald Buddhists. Is this guy the OG Islamo-Duganist? I have no idea. Sethno State, actually. Sitting here talking about cults with our tinfoil hats on as God intended. I also remember a guy and or they, them, whatever the hell they are, I helped push into doing VTubing. Then he fell out of doing it, and nowadays just bitches about Trump. Man, TDS has given some people an actual personality. You noticed? Do they really think LaVey was an atheist? Well, I think LaVey himself said that he was. So what the fuck does ONA have to do with this? Jewish, liberal, trans, nut job? Well, they use the system. Hold on, we'll go on to this one. They use the system. So here's one of the ones that uses the system. Actually, let me get this out of the way. We're going to listen to this very edgy video. Which, shout out. Listen, Anthony Arcane, thanks for making it. Alright, I'm sorry. It's just edgy, but you put it on here, I'm using it, thank you. So let's listen to this real quick in Synthno State. Like I'm trying to get into it. But they use ONA. ONA is it's all gonna go back to ONA. Okay?
Anthony Arcane. This
again, I'm sorry it's edgy, but he explains it for us all, and I'm gonna let you guys hear it.
It's the shadow core.
It's just less than 5 minutes.
Knowledge. Today, we descend into Hostia, a text that pulses with the raw currents of the Order of Nine Angles, a secretive, feared, and often misunderstood occult movement. This is not for the faint of heart. This is Hostia, secret teachings of the Order of Nine Angles. Hostia is not a traditional book. It's a weapon, crafted for transformation, war, and initiation. It compiles the ONA's core
Guys, I'm getting cut on this edge right now.
Blueprint for their infamous Sinister Way, a path meant to break the individual, then reforge them into a being beyond good and evil. It is divided into several chapters, each focused on a different aspect of their system, from physical ordeals to dream work.
I do appreciate the chimes. I'm a chime enjoyer.
Action. ONA doesn't play with symbols, they weaponize them. The Sinister Path.
He's just gonna have stock footage. I'm gonna flip around.
This isn't self-help spirituality. This is the path of the warrior mystic, the Nexian walker, the isolate, seeking apotheosis through ordeal. ONA demands real-life action, called insight roles. You become a criminal, a soldier, a heretic.
See how ONA is like, we gotta do organized crime.
Your ego shatters societal conditioning and awaken your inner daemon. This is occultism as blood sport, not metaphor, manifestation. Hostia contains several rituals, invocations, path workings, and ceremonies aligned to the septenary system, a unique cosmology based on 7 stages of transformation. Here, traditional satanic archetypes like Lucifer, Baphomet.
I mean, if you're gonna be into deistic Satanism, I guess you do have to do like the
cosmic evolution.
You have to get into the magic-y stuff they do.
To accelerate aeonic change, not just within the
yeah, because it does.
Fabric of reality.
But he does a good job at least explaining it in a short enough time.
It is about becoming a living Nexion between dimensions. The teachings in Hostia are extreme, and they have drawn heavy criticism and fear. Why? Because the ONA encourages real-world transgression as part of spiritual evolution. This includes breaking taboos, embracing chaos, and at its darkest, committing.
So could you hear how that's like something like a teenage edgelord would be into?
Critics call it dangerous. Followers call it liberation through ordeal. The line between myth and reality is deliberately blurred because the ONA believes in living myth.
I think really that they just use the ONA structure, like the way that they'll break down the will of a person.
Of life and death. But beware, this path offers no safety, no salvation, only transformation. As the ONA says, only those of strong Aryan blood will survive the path of the adept. Take from that what you will. If you choose to read Hostia, do so.
I don't know much about Hostia. I kind of want to look into this Hostia he's talking about.
And once it opens, you may not be able to close it. Stay curious, stay cautious, and remember, true initiation always leaves a scar.
I love that Crowleyan. Once you open it, you may not be able to close it. Like, please. I appreciate the spook vibe of all that because I do like Halloween season. Anyway, here let's learn about 764. Okay, and again, I'm sorry, it's just Wikipedia. We're just getting a surface level idea of it. 764 is a decentralized, internationally operating online sextortion network. So this is the guys that one of the groups that will blackmail little children and extort pictures and what have you from them. Like I've heard tale of them inserting a knife down there and taking a picture of it to send to the guy and all that. So let's go. That is ideologically aligned with a satanic, misanthropic, and accelerationist terror network called the Order of Nine Angles. It emerged in 2021 from the Cult Network, and we'll get into Cult. Although 764 has been described as a satanic neo-Nazi cult, by multiple sources, investigations suggest that its members' misanthropic worldview and sadistic tendencies are more significant drivers, with group dynamics playing a key role in further radicalization. Members of 764 frequently adopt the corresponding symbolism, but are primarily described as being motivated by sadism. Okay? 764 is classified as a terror network by the DOJ and is considered a terrorist tier 1. What's that mean? Well, whatever. Investigative matter by the FBI. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police similarly classifies 764 as an ideological violent extremist network. It's a grooming gang, okay? And it is ran by teenagers. At least on the surface, it appears to. Let's see, background. Community, the COM. Due to the network's decentralized nature, numerous different subgroups exist under different names, including No Lives Matter. When aggregated, the community surrounding these groups is commonly referred to as the COM, shorthand for the community. Law enforcement estimated in 2024 that the COM network includes hundreds of such members who engage in extortion and harassment using various cyber criminal tactics such as swatting or doxing, which is why I had to give the disclaimer that I did. Because I really don't want people to die or go to jail. Okay, I'm here to keep the peace. As well as thousands engaged in other cyber criminal activities. You remember the sextortion thing? And I told you that they'll do this to like little 10-year-olds. So this is how, yes, mental illness is leading people to wanting to become trans because we're not allowed to help them. This isn't about all trans people, okay? There's just such a large contingency of trans people that are not allowed to be helped because it goes against their idea of what the greater good is. And you remember the guy I told you that was a Satanist and he was part of a Discord group that was grooming children and extorting images like a CP from those kids, and the stepfather wanted to shoot him. And then there was a scuffle and they went out in the hallway. He shot at that guy, clipped his ear, and then the stepfather later shot himself in the head. That guy is a pedophile, not the stepfather, the dude. I wish I had that handy right now. And he was part of 764. And he was having young girls carve, what was it, pentagrams and stuff into their skin. And he was trying to help initiate them. He was trying to initiate these little girls, okay? That's what 764 does. And I just want you to know that these are sadistic people that are incidentally trans, okay? And that... It's just a grooming gang. It is just straight up. That's what it is. Okay. Now that's probably creating more mentally ill people that feel like they have to be trans because there was some fucked up person that they got close to on the internet that caused this for them. Because the cycle will keep repeating itself until someone has the will to break it. So the 764 network is primarily active on Discord and Telegram, to some extent on the gaming platforms Roblox and Minecraft. Members of the network are involved in systematic sexual, physical, and psychological abuse of minors through sextortion and other practices, disturbing CP material, and depictions of violence. Victims are selected from 9 to 17 years of age, or from the age group, with a preference for children from marginalized backgrounds or those with mental health issues. founding by Bradley Chance Cadenhead. 764 was founded in 2021 by Bradley Chance Cadenhead at the age of 15. School dropout Cadenhead, alias Felix, learned techniques of exploiting minors and sextortion on a Discord server called Cult, and that's what we're going to hear next, and subsequently founded the 764. In the online game Minecraft, Cadenhead met an unknown person who assisted him in establishing 764. So I want to go back to that, the pedo creep the stepfather shot at and missed. He was not a teenager. Okay. There's these adults. I think that guy was like in his 30s. And I don't know, is this painting a bigger picture for you guys of how fucked up this actually is? And this still, listen, okay? This still relates back to this person. All right? It still goes back to him because he was part of 09A. And I just didn't know how deep this rabbit hole went, guys, until I wanted to finally learn more about 09A. It was documented that Cadenhead had been bullied during his school years. A classmate described him as an easy target. In his early teens, Cadenhead suffered multiple breakdowns and was isolated. He told probation officers that he stopped caring about anything and, after dropping out of school at 15, withdrew to his room. He founded the online network and named it after the zip code of his hometown, Stephenville, Texas. Cadenhead had been noticeably disruptive as a student. It is known that at the age of 10, he was fascinated by graphic online content depicting murder and torture. His assistant principal alerted authorities to Cadenhead, leading to an investigation into terrorist threats. Despite disciplinary measure, Cadenhead continued to use school computers to draw images of school shootings. Cadenhead extorted minors through sextortion or coerced them by threatening actions such as swatting attacks. He forced his victims, among other things, to produce CP material, engage in animal cruelty, self-harm, and fan signing. Although Cadenhead's Discord accounts were typically banned within about a day, he repeatedly created new ones. A Discord Inc. spokesperson told the Washington Post that the company's moderation system primarily relied on user reports. Upon learning of illegal activities, Cadenhead's accounts were banned. The spokesperson expressed concern about retaliatory action by 764's members and requested anonymity from the Washington Post. Okay. So, do you remember like going on like 3 years ago now that Discord reserved the right to monitor voice calls or if you're on cam with somebody and your DMs and stuff? That's because this little FAG, okay, ushered in the feds. Which, again, when the feds dive their hand into everything, I don't see anything getting done other than they just start extracting as much information and control as they can. And I don't want to discredit anyone that's genuinely trying. But this is what it looks like. Because how many times in the past have we heard about some crazed fucking groups that never get caught? Again, I go back to the Twitter thing where they had like the programs to filter for CP and remove it and report people, and they didn't use it for that. Let's see. He was arrested at the age of 16 on May 16th, 2023. At the age of 16, he was convicted of possessing CP files, and he is currently serving an 80-year prison sentence at Estelle Unit in Huntsville, Texas. Let's see. Caden Head's behavioral therapist stated during the trial that his client needed psychological treatment rather than imprisonment. Fuck that. However, the judge, after reviewing video evidence from Caden Head's computer and listing the 7 deadly sins, addressed Caden Head directly, stating, "There is something horribly wrong with you. Horribly." So these are about key members. But I want to go ahead into cult. Sorry, this stuff really turns my stomach. Let's go to cult. So, look at this, look at this, look at this. It's hard to read it, but I'm going to read it to you. So Rohan, real quick, is the half Indian kid, the French Indian school student, Rohan Rain. And he ran the cult Discord. And it says here, "I don't care what they do. Rohan, you know I'll do anything for you. But that server is too much for me. You made me cut myself. I did it. You made me strip naked for your friends. I did. What else do you want me to do? I'm just a human, Rohan. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. I'm busy. Sorry. Video call in 5 minutes. I'll show you my recent scar I got from a fight on my eyebrow. Yes. Keep a blade ready, baby." Let's go into Rohan. So Cult, with a V, known as Cult, is an international neo-Nazi and nihilistic online organization that was responsible for the acts of child exploitation. Again, this was ran by another teenager, and they used the Order of the Nine Angles structure to break down the will of a person, okay? And this is all, I hope, making a big circle for you guys, like coming full circle. So several of the organization's leaders were arrested in U.S. for producing CP and coercing minors to commit self-harm. I want you to understand something. There were minors that was exploiting other minors. And one big part that's not really being talked about, that I have filled in the gaps with because I'm just piecing together this whole like trans stuff, is the adults that surrounded them, that these minors were supplying to them, okay? Let's go on. According to police, Cult has exploited approximately 2 minors in California and 16 minors in the world total. Bear in mind, this was one individual, okay? There are numerous people that are minors that do this on Roblox or Minecraft. And there are the older adults that are around. But I'm not pointing fingers or anything. I'm merely stating, and what I'm seeing here is that it is minors that are doing it. The other pedos just benefit. And I mean, look at the video I posted in my Discord server for you guys recently about this kid that was 17, and he had more than 50 interactions. He had interactions with 50 different young girls. Some as young as like 9, 10. And they were sending him pictures. And he was hiding it all. That was more than 50. Okay. I don't know what the solution is other than like maybe parents shouldn't let their kids on the internet till they're 18. I don't know. Maybe the Fed actually doing something about this? It's like, well, they're working on it. And it's like, why do the feds have like a ticking time bomb in their hands and then they just let it go? They don't do anything. I'm sorry. I think it is ultimately the left wing that keeps them, maybe perhaps some on the right wing as well. Both sides are just as complicit, but they won't have anything to campaign on if the problems are cleaned up. That's what I'm afraid is going on. Okay. Let's see. Several of the organization's leaders were arrested in the U.S. Okay. According to police, Colt has exploited the 2 minors in California and 16 minors around the world in total. The DOJ described it as an online group that espoused neo-Nazism, nihilism, and pedophilia as its core principles. Colt is affiliated with the COM, a broad network of international cyber criminals. Colt became known after one of its leaders, Caleb Merritt, was caught and convicted of raping a girl and taking inappropriate pictures of her. Colt was created in 2019 by a French Indian school student named Rohan Rain. Colt started as a Discord community with a couple hundred members who were followers of various far-right ideologies. Rohan then started attracting underage girls from over the world to join his community and chat with him and Colt's members. Eventually, he managed to convince them to send him nude photos of themselves and used them to blackmail them into doing self-harm, including suicide, before being arrested in 2021. Other members of Colt were arrested in 2025. Colt is considered to be predecessor of 764, an influential child exploitation network. Its founder, Bradley Cadenhead, was inspired by Colt to create the network specifically after talking with one of Colt's members in a Minecraft server. Yeah, I don't think this has anything to do with it being right-wing at all. I feel like that we're talking about, like, pedos want a shield. And the shield for them is to cop out and be like, oh, this is right-wing. It was just right-wing. No, that's just right-wing stuff. Again, making it political where it shouldn't. This isn't a partisan issue at all. This is innocent lives being exploited and being traumatized by these fucking freaks. I'm going to read this paragraph here, and we'll move on a little bit, because it's after 11, and I got like 2 news articles I want to read, and then I have to get to bed, unfortunately. So Colt was created somewhere in 2019 by a then 23-year-old top business school student named Rohan Rain, an Indian immigrant living in Antibes, France? Well, living in France. Reportedly, he was bored due to COVID-19 lockdowns, so he decided to create his own community on Discord to chat with people. He named it Colt. Rohan said that the community was a place where he came to proclaim his hatred of Jews and Muslims. The members of Colt mostly had neo-Nazi and fascist ideologies. Colt amassed over 150 members. Some were not able to be identified by FBI during the investigation. Rohan entered France in 2016 for business studies. He was a son of a rich family, and his father being a CEO of business. An FBI agent got interested in Colt in the spring of 2020 as he was investigating a 15-year-old American girl who unsuccessfully attempted to commit suicide by slashing her throat after communicating with Rohan. It was revealed to him that the girl sent Rohan nude photos of herself after he formed a romantic relationship with her and gained her trust. After he had the photos, Rohan blackmailed her to send him more and if she didn't obey him, he threatened to send the photos to the girl's relatives. The agent sent his findings to France law enforcement, which prompted a judicial investigation on October 6, 2020 by OCRVP. Rohan was taken into custody the next year on April 6, 2021, and is awaiting his sentence in solitary confinement. He turned 28 years old as of 2025 and is charged with acts of torture and barbarity, corruption of minors in an organized gang, and extortion in an organized gang. Del Taco, hello. Yeah, Del Taco has a point. They're gonna go like claim far right on the Wikipedia. If I remember correctly, Wikipedia has like the same power mods that Reddit has, or some of the same. I might be wrong about that one. I'm reading. So Rohan was. They're all fucked up, but like Rohan has like more going on. Look at this fucking guy. That's Caleb Merritt. Ugh. Look how dirty and unwashed he is. I mean, they have no morals. They have no nothing. Yeah. Yeah, pay attention to Ma Hitler. Honestly, guys, like, he had, like, girls eating feces and stuff like that, and I really just kind of want to save. I don't really want to go into this. What here is specified by what Rohan has done is, like, pretty fucked up. So, let's read what Vice has to say, okay? When did Vice post this? 2025. Back in July 31st, like a month ago. This is what they were saying. So let's see what normie shit's saying about it. No morals, no sympathy. I would argue no soul at this point. If you have no morals, you don't have a soul. You have to be dead on the inside to not care like that. It is what it is, unfortunately. But yes, I'm going to be reading these next two articles, and then we're going to find somebody to raid on Rumble, and then guys, I'm going to go to bed. I've been sleeping normal lately thanks to being sick. All right, let me make this kind of bigger. Let's see. So this is Vice's article. A new satanic neo-Nazi group is recruiting children as young as 12. At the start of this year, residents woke up to find troubling graffiti sprayed across several locations in the Bad Herrenalde district of southwestern Germany. Forgive me for not pronouncing shit right. You guys know I'm stupid. Anyway, alongside the names of well-known extremist networks like No Lives Matter and 764, there was the moniker of a new group, Mealy Kloskrieg. That's gonna be too many syllables for me. Kloskrieg, a neo-Nazi organization that has emerged in the last year. The person behind the graffiti shared the press coverage it generated in a closed group on the messaging app Signal. To the applause of other members of Miliko, we're just going to call it Miliko, okay? Miliko, which translates into English as military war. Listen, just because I got a lot of German in me doesn't mean I know how to speak it. While No Lives Matter and 764 have received significant media attention, Maliko has gone largely unexamined, bearing all the hallmarks of the decentralized satanic neo-Nazi organization Order of the Nine Angles. Maliko espouses a hard accelerationist ethos, and pushes its members through a 3-stage pipeline in which recruitment and radicalization lead to discussions of real-world terror activity. It started making waves when it shared links to its Telegram and Signal groups on social media, accompanied by images and videos of masked men with guns and inflammatory slogans like "Jews are garbage, kill them, and join your local terrorist." That's very German, actually. I can just feel the German in that. And here's the kicker. The group's members appear to be very young, between the ages of 12 and 18. Their propaganda aesthetic is deliberately crude and confrontational, full of satanic and O9A imagery, as well as heavily edited gore. In that respect, it takes cues from Atomwaffen Division and a bunch of O9A neo-Nazis who have been linked to many killings and designated as a terror group in the UK and Canada. I'm going to tell you something. All these trans people that were doing these shootings, I don't think the leftists on the internet are going to allow them to be called terrorists of this sort because they were trans. I'm kind of wondering at this point if some of them claim to be trans as a shield, and they're not actually. I don't know about this last one with Westman, because Westman, his mother did allow him to be trans, so there was that. But there's some of them that's just not at all trans. Like, the black guy who was friends with the white chick, and Nate shot up his school. She claimed to be trans, I believe. And she clearly wasn't. Designed not only to shock, but to establish in-group identity and ideological alignment, Maliko was banned from many social media platforms, including Telegram, but retains a presence on Signal, where users radicalize one another and guide newcomers towards increasingly extreme ideologies. Is Signal a left-wing platform or what? I don't know much about Signal. Yeah, this is just some unfettered mental illness that you're not allowed to help heal, so that just careens into the fucking nihilistic void. It's just a messaging app. It's not partisan at all. Okay. A lot of traps are right wing. Yeah, I know like quite a few like femboys and even trans folks that are right wing. A core function of the group is to desensitize users through exposure to gore, beheading videos, narco executions, murder victim footage, and violent ideology, while normalizing discussions that encourage rape, child abuse, and mass murder. Material shared in the Signal group, which Vice has infiltrated. Oh, wow, Vice. Good job, Vice. You joined a Signal group, did you? Include handbooks like Militant Accelerationist, which openly call for terror attacks, while lauding far-right extremists like Brenton Tarrant as saints. Who's this one? Another shooter, I guess. Links to download a rape-themed video game called No Mercy images of animal sacrifices tied to O9A rituals, and memes glorifying murder and violent extremism. Members also celebrate the convicted sex offender and murderer Peter Scully and share tactics on how to avoid detection. So are we getting more closer to like what Westman was part of, do you guys think? I think so. Also, Evergrade is rating us. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Evergrade. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to be wrapping up very soon. So stick around and we'll find somebody to raid as well. Oh, a criminal app. Oh, hey, Yellow. I'm so sorry that I'm missing things you guys are saying. I'm reading you as I can, and I'm just trying to get through reading this stuff because you guys know I'm slow as fuck. You know I'm a slow one. Let's keep going. Playing Sin and Punishment. Oh, that's nice. What's going on? Well, we're just like looking at cults. And I'm also getting sleepy. I am a sleepy Zay right now. Well, let's get through it. Because I find this very important with all of my soul. I think this is important. I want more people to talk about it. Again, I want to shout out Jason Louv, who's one of my favorite YouTubers. Linked down below on Rumble and on YouTube. I linked specifically his stream. I think he might have been streaming tonight as well. But he's been talking about this stuff. And he's more thorough about it. And if you really want to hear more about it, please check him out. But it does deserve to be spoken more about because I don't think the feds will ever do anything. More people need to know that it's like you literally just letting your minors on Roblox or even on these like Minecraft servers. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. These are the people that's going around dragnetting for kids, and yeah, unknowingly reading CIA docs. This guy's clearly new here. This spooky guy. Are you brand new? Like, did you just find me tonight? Spooky Pookie? Okay. Let's see. More than just a group of unhappy young people talking about unpleasant things online. The existence of the Maliko has already had real-world consequences. In one incident, a member from Paraguay expressed a desire to carry out a school shooting. Rather than discourage him, others in the chat urged him to attack a mosque or a synagogue instead. One of his acolytes scolded him for not targeting Jews, to which he replied that a school would be easier and less risky than attacking a synagogue or a mosque. Well, what in the fuck? Okay. They both seem equally bad. When the Paraguayan, I can't even say it, Paraguayan confided that there were mosques and synagogues close to his home, fellow users further goaded him to target a religious site. Soon the conversation has shifted onto practical advice about how to acquire firearms. At no point did any member express concern or opposition. Give me a minute, guys. Spooky Pookie, have you ever read the Satanic Bible? Have you ever read it? I own a copy of it. I've read it. I'm just wondering if you have. You also said some nasty shit to me earlier. So, yeah. But anyway, more of this about kids being targeted. And I'm going to go ahead and skip over to this other one, which is Global Network on Extremism and Technology. I can only stand so much advice, to be honest with you. Cultic religious groups, Order of Nine Angles. So we're going to hear a little bit more about this one. Let's see. Introduction. Informs report Cults and Online Violent Extremism proposes 3 ideal typical groupings of online cultic activity that can glorify and inspire violent extremisms. Cultic religious groups, online cultic, oh shit, what's this word? Milus, I think. Online cultic milus and cultic fandoms. This insight provides an overview of this first category, cultic religious groups. Cultic religious groups is a category that is intended to focus attention on the online element of religious groups that also have an established offline presence. I'm sorry, I'm getting sleepy. Cultic religious groups include older, primarily offline religious traditions moving on to the online space. These groups may have had existing problematic offline aspects before moving to online spaces. In many cases, interactions in the online environment have also created new ways that individuals who might be prone to violent extremism interact with these ideologies, practices, and networks. Oh, you have a good night, Coast. Thank you for the raid and hanging out. You sleep good. No, well, whatever, I just clicked there. La 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 la, where was I at? Okay. All religious groups are characterized by members interacting with their ideologies, practices, and networks. Traditionally, offline cults have often been depicted as high-demand groups that might have characteristics such as a charismatic leader, all convert membership, and demands for members to commit large amounts of time and money towards the group's aims and activities. Classically, cultic groups are associated with encouraging members to cut ties with existing friends and family, to leave outside employment, and to devote themselves fully to the group. However, in practice, once a group has been established for a number of years, there are usually a range of ways in which people engage with it, with some people being engaged in more high-demand contexts and others more superficially or temporarily engaged with the group or its ideology. The reasons behind these differing levels of engagement and of potential exposure to harmful practices and behavior are varied. Important variables include the personal characteristics of an individual, the social structure of the group, and the nature of its concerns, as well as the extent of social support external to the group and other traumatic or unsettling events for either a particular individual or wider society at any given time. Welcome back, Dingus. I thought you were going to bed, Dingus. I mean, I did assume that. But welcome back. It is important to keep in mind these complexities and the range of engagement in more traditional cultic groups when considering how individuals engage with groups when the latter move into online spaces. A paradigmatic example of a religious group with offline origins moving into online spaces that has caused concern by its relationship to violent extremism is the occult religious movement of the Order of Nine Angles. I don't sleep at night? Are you for real? Is that because you're an owl? Let's see. O9A. The Order of Nine Angles is a secretive religious movement that combines elements of occultism, Satanism, and mysticism. And I want to say, like, we can yell all fucking night about it being glowy opt or it started by glowies and all this and that. Children have been exploited and they are dying. I'm tired of yelling about trans people and glowies. Like, I want more eyes on this to see that it is happening, because politicians aren't going to do anything. You know, you're just reading glowy documents. Like, shut up. Like, this is very fucking important. Glowy or not, like, it's happening. It's unfolding. I actually care about kids. I want to have hope for the future. I'm not nihilistic, okay? I'm using my platform to put this out there. It has also been linked to causes of far-right and neo-Nazi inspired violence. It was established in Britain. Okay, we already know. Blah, blah, blah. We know David Mayat, Anton Long. The movement is known for games around identity. Although Anton Long remains a person of interest, the people claiming this identity may have changed. I always figured that Anton Long was a fake name. The O9A's foundational texts were published in the 1970s. The group was not very active online during the 1990s and early 2000s. However, from 2008, a large online presence was established, and now its ideology and symbolism can be widely found on various social media platforms. Its literature has been associated with some offline violent extremist acts. Like, let me take a look at that. I just wouldn't call them neo-Nazis. I just would not call them that. And that's just my personal opinion, though. But this is wholesale. I mean, it's fucking grotesque what's happening. The O9A identifies as, and I don't think some random kid started it. I'm just saying, like, this is what this is public knowledge that we're looking at. And this is, I'm just exploring it with you guys. Okay. Let's see. The O9A identifies as part of the left-hand path, which is conventionally associated with evil or black magic. It also blends elements of Satanism, neo-Nazism, neo-paganism, and esotericism in a unique way. It encourages its members to assist with the impending rise of a new superhuman civilization. In our current period, termed an aeon, the superiority of Western civilization has been weakened by Magian. The O9A's term for Jewish and Nazarene Christian forces. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that earlier. The group's literature teaches that these weaknesses can be overcome with magical practice and practical action. Magical is a term used by practitioners of contemporary occult ritual traditions to distinguish their religious practice and lineages from popular associations of magic, which consist of frivolous parlor tricks or stem from pre-scientific form of ontology. Yeah. That's why we spell it with a K. Got it. It really could be just some random fucked up kids doing this. A lot of people are really fucked up. I mean, it does trace back to a kid of Indian origin. Okay. And, well, even though he's like 28 now. No, he's not. He's not 28. He's like 26 or something now, right? But I don't know. But we already get like the aesthetics and stuff. Let me get through this. Oh, that was it. And risk assessment. Okay, so let's read this last part. While the O9A's symbols remain potent and active, it appears that most violent and criminal cases in the UK and US involve neo-Nazi militants who do not necessarily have any direct links to O9A's inner circle and who are already... Yeah, that well, we're okay. So this is like talking about Colt and 764. Guys, I'm gonna have to cut it short because it is getting very late and I have to be up at 5 a.m. But again, down below, if you want to deep dive yourself, let me shout out again Jason Louv, his video, and also this documentation that he made himself, like on it, like he posted himself. I'm going to do a vote in the Discord for tonight, and I'm going to leave it up. And by like 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, whenever I'm home, I'll do a Wingin' It, or we'll play Schedule 1 with Dugan, okay? Hey, Vlad. But I really need to find somebody to raid. Guys, this was a good time explaining this with you. You probably got so tired of hearing me redundantly say O9A and neo-Nazism. But as you see, like, some of these shooters are just incidentally trans, and they're actually doing it because they are deistically Satanists. And as you see, Satanists are fucking pedophiles. Jesus Christ. Oh, thanks for... I love my WoW cursor. And, thank you guys all for being here. I'm so sorry again for last week because I was sick and I wasn't really able to stream. And I had to keep canceling because I have, like, the poorest fucking immune system. But yes, we're going to raid somebody on Rumble. It has been a great time, guys. It really has. It's been, like, we had to talk about some, like, hard topics. But thank you for being here and letting me share it with you. There is more to be talked about. There really is, like there is videos of these people getting arrested. So you could see, like, all of these fucking kids. And there's also, like, dudes of all fucking ages, like 50s and shit, that are getting arrested for grooming and soliciting minors on Roblox. Like, Roblox is terrifying. I want nothing to do with Roblox. I actually, up until this fucking shooting happened, I was going to stream Roblox this week to see how bad it was. I've never in my life been on Roblox before. But now, I don't want to fucking touch Roblox. But I did think about that. I was going to be like, hey guys, let's go explore Roblox. Let's see what that's like. But no fucking way. Oh, wow, Aegis is going. I don't normally see Aegis this late. Savvy, Razio, Pixel, Joke. I haven't seen Gamers there. I'm kind of hiding them. I haven't seen him in a while. Guys, I want to do Razio. I want to do somebody base so we can, like, talk. I like doing somebody base after I do a Wingin' It because, like, I know with some people you can't talk politics with them when they're streaming. Daimao is streaming. Do I not have Daimao? Hang on. Do I not have follow? I might not be following him. Hang on. Daimao. I'm not following Daimao. I'm the worst ever. Daimao, I'm sorry. You are streaming. Let's go. Let's get Daimao. I like saying that name. Yeah, we'll raid Daimao. You guys go look at some big furry boobies. Oh. Alright. I love you guys so tremendously much. Thank you for the new follows. Thank you for the kindness that you guys all showed me. And most of all, thank you for sharing your time with me tonight. And I should be here tomorrow night. It could be Schedule 1. It could be another thing of Wingin' It. I could just do Wingin' It next Tuesday as well. I don't know. I hate that, like, my schedules at this point have become so up in the air because I do have a day job. Oh, oops, I accidentally clicked Sledge. Shout out to Sledge, by the way. Give Sledge a follow since I just accidentally clicked on him. He has good taste? Sledge, you need to get bonked with a horny bat. Anyway, I'm going to send you off, guys. I love you so much. I do. Thank you again for your time being here with me, okay, guys? All right. Let's go give him some love and some likes, okay? And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye-bye.